Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going back to Phoenix Hyoh and we're going to be getting a better score than my previous run. I've made some adjustments to the team, we're going to be now going more for darkness, I've changed some units around, etc. So let's get in here and give it a go. Turn chart will be in the comments, gear will be shown at the end, and I'll kind of explain to you what we're doing turn by turn. So this time we're going to push the threshold on turn 1. That's going to do a few things. For one thing, it gets the HP lock out of the way, but most importantly, it pushes the boss's rotation back one turn, so we can safely do a turn 5 burst instead. So, on turn 1, Roka will go ahead and do Zidane's STMR for that big LB buff. We're going to use Ibarra to just imbue the party with darkness. Saul is going to do a fire resist buff for the threshold we're going to push, a dark imperil, and then an 85 break with wave of despair. Now we're going to push the threshold with Aya's shifted LB, Malphase's base form LB, and then Axtar's LB. So we'll chain these up and it should push the threshold pretty safely. You could also use the human killer on Saul as well for turn 1. So there we go, we did 800,000, we only needed 6. So here's the threshold, just some fire damage, and then an AoE Dispel, and then AoE Imperil. So now that the threshold was pushed on turn 1, the boss's normal rotation will start from turn 2 instead. So now, we're going to go to the base form with Aya. We're going to do Barrier, Gene Heal, and Haste. That'll give us Mirage, it'll cure the Imperils, and give us status immunity. Malphase can just guard this turn. Ibarra is going to do Bar Darkja for the mitigations. Axtar will do Avatar's Tenant for the resist buff. And Saul will do Nethicite to stop the boss's earth damage. Make sure Nethicite is the last action. So we Mirage the physical, we mitigate the non-elemental, and we Nethicited the earth. Okay, this turn we're going to get set up for killing on turn 3. So Malphase will use a Dark Amp card on herself. Axtar will use a Dark Amp card on himself. Ibarra will do her base form LB for the Imperil and all that. Saul will do Duskfall for the 89 breaks. And this turn, Aya will do Nethicite to stop the boss's lightning damage. So again, we're going to Mirage the attacks. We're going to Nethicite the big attack, and then we're going to just resist the other attack. No problem. Okay, so turn 4, we're going to be getting set up for a burst next round. So Aya will shift here, and we'll do her fire stuff. Fire, imbue, mod buff, and then her amplify. Malphase will shift. Now Malphase is going to stay pure darkness from that 100 dark amp card. So we're just going to do Avian Ranker for the bird killer, Skilled for the mod buff, and then her Fleet Wing for her focus. Roka, now that she's finished Zidane's STMR, can do 150 amp, LB field, and then I'll show you as the last action for the focus. Axtar can get ready for next turn with Carnage, Maledictive, and War Goddess. Ibarra can get ready for next turn with Anoon. Human Killer for the party, and then Sukiyo for herself. Now Saul can shift here, and he's going to put up the Imperil field, a 150 amp, and then he's going to imbue himself with darkness. Okay, so the whole party is using dark except for Aya. She is unfortunately going to have a damage penalty this fight. So here we go, there's some fire damage as well. We're resistant from the gear we're using. And yeah, so because we did the threshold on turn 1, the boss is getting focused on turn 4 instead. Okay, so it's time to kill and do our damage cap. So Axtar will do quad devastation. We'll shift the LB, Aya, and Malphase. We will use Roka to shift and do her LB. We're going to shift and do Ibarra's LB. Now, because of the chaining, Saul is going to have to just use Ayaka's vision card. We need someone to chain with Roka, unfortunately, because we need to extend the chain because of Axtar. So we're going to send Roka and Saul first. Make sure Roka is clicked first for the Rod Imperil. They're going to chain. We're going to wait like a second and a half. Then we're going to send the rest of them. That'll perfectly cap Axstar and Ibarra, and then Aya and Malphasian will chain at the end. We're looking for a 127 count chain. Now I'm going to pause the video until I get a better damage roll. My current high is 29. I'm going to try to roll variants for a little while, hopefully get a good roll in the video. If not, I'll just show you the breakdown of the old clear where I did 29 billion, and we'll continue. But I'm going to farm variants for a little bit, and I'll try to get a higher roll for the video. So see you in a moment. Alright guys, let's try it again. Pretty good roll from Ibarra. Both like a pretty low roll from Roka though. Or, not Roka, Aya. 29.2. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just accept that roll. I'm tired of it. Tired of rolling variants. We can go as high as like 33, but yeah, variants is just annoying. Not bad, I guess. Just looking at it, Ibarra rolled pretty well. So did Roka, but Axstar got pretty terrible. Yeah, Axstar goes as high as 6.7, so we lost a billion there. Sol did pretty bad as well. Wow. Okay, it's fine though. That's good enough for me. It's a new high. Ranked up a little bit. Pretty cool. I might roll it later. Roll more later on like Wednesday or something, just for fun. You know, get a few more free pulls and stuff. Anyway, here is the team. Turn chart will be in the comments, etc. So yeah, as far as Espers go, we do have the Bird Killer overcap on Siren. The rest aren't really that important. So for Aya Brea in the base form, the whole party has neutral or better to Thunder, and then I think 25 or better to Fire in their starter forms. And here we go. Here's the build. Just bulk and then Nethicite. There we go. Shift form is LB damage versus birds and humans. There it is. There's the setup. Malphasian in the base form is geared for damage so that we can push the threshold on turn 1. There it is in the base form, and then shift form is identical. We are using the Dark Amp card World Ender. Shift form is kind of the same thing. There we go. Then Ibarra in the base form is our passive provoker, death immunity, full evasion, etc. There it is. And then that card, shift form, is damage versus birds and humans, and she is using Overcap Killer. Roka in the base form is just kind of whatever. Zidane's STMR. Shift form is, there we go, maxed on everything. And then we are using the morale card on her, or the clash card. Sol in the base form, kind of whatever, you know. Shift form is using Ayaka's card. So there it is. There's the setup, and then Ayaka's card. And Axstar is right here. You know, there's the resistances, etc. Avatar's Chainmail, and Blood Moon card for the 100 Amplify. And there it is. Sorry for not being more, like, descriptive. It's just that I've been running variants for, like, 45 minutes. I'm tired of it. Anyway, there we go. Oh, by the way, I think in the video I had Sol using Nethicite as well, but turns out I didn't actually need it on turn 2, so I erased it and took it off. Anyway, there's my clear. You know, it can go as high as 33.5 on perfect variants, but it's hard to get. See you in a bit.